Next on the agenda tonight, we have the signing of acknowledgement in support of mayors against illegal guns. And I wanted to say a few words about that before I actually did the actual signing. I spoke earlier of the recent incident in Aurora, Illinois. 2 weeks ago was the one-year anniversary of the tragedy in Parkland in Florida. And these are just two examples of the ongoing issue of gun violence in our country. And we need to change that. Tonight, the signing of the Statement of Principles of the Mayors Against Illegal Guns initiative is just one small step in that direction. We're lucky to live in a state with some of the most restrictive gun laws in the country. So it is often the case that illegal guns in our community and on our streets are those that put both our residents and our police officers in harm's way. Many of the principles in the document that I'll sign tonight relate specifically to the sale of tracking of illegal guns, and I urge everyone to read it in its entirety. But it also includes a pledge to help advance the extension of background check requirements to all gun sales. And on this particular point, I laud our new Congresswoman, Mikey Sherrill, for making a bill on universal background checks, the very first bill she sponsored on the floor of Congress. I don't quote others very often, but when I do, it's usually Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which is actually appropriate this month because it's Black History Month. And one of MLK's famous quotes goes like this: "Let us realize that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And then last year I was lucky enough to go to a Bruce Springsteen concert. And Bruce took that same quote and he took it to a new level by saying that if we all push on that arc together, we can bend it towards justice that much faster. And so I urge everyone in our community, and particularly the young ones, to keep pushing on the arc of gun safety regulations and help bend it towards a safer society for all of us. And with that, I would like to formally sign this pledge. And I have a couple people who are here tonight who are going to say a few words. Is Kelly here? Very good, if you'd like to come up. And we also have Teresa. Is Teresa here? Very good. So I'm going to sign this right here, make it official. And is Alexandra here? I don't know if she made it tonight, a student. Alexandra, very good. Come up too. So, Kelly, would you like to go first? Introduce yourself. And
Sure, yeah. I'm Kelly Doucette. I'm a resident of Chatham Township, just a neighbor over here, and I'm the district director for Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. So good evening, everyone. It's an honor to join you tonight on behalf of Congresswoman Sherrill. She sends her best to all of the Morris Township Committee members. The Congresswoman asked me to especially pass on her thanks to Mayor Grazel this evening for joining the Coalition of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. As you know, with her experience with firearms in the U.S. Navy and as a federal prosecutor who worked to keep guns off the streets of New Jersey, the Congresswoman has been a strong proponent of gun safety legislation. She recently joined the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force in the U.S. House of Representatives, and the first legislation that she co-sponsored was H.R. 8, a bipartisan proposal for universal background checks, which passed the House today. She appreciates having partners in the 11th District, like Mayor Grazel, who will join her in advocating for life-saving gun safety reforms. Finally, Congresswoman Sherrill also asked me to pass on her congratulations and thanks to the members of Morris Township's law enforcement who are being promoted or receiving awards later this evening, and to especially convey her deep appreciation to Captain Conrads for his service as he prepares to retire. Thank you for all you do to keep Morris Township safe.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Mayor Grazel, for inviting us to speak. So I want to share with you my excitement with the appointment of Mayor Grazel. We have tried in multiple towns in Morris County to have mayors join Mayors Against Illegal Guns. And one of the first things that Mayor Grazel did was email us. Within days of his announcement that he was mayor, he emailed us to find out how he could do this. So that is very exciting for us. This is Fern Wolkin. She is my co-leader, and we are the faces of Morris County Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And for those of you who don't know what we do, we are a grassroots volunteer-based organization that fights for common gun sense legislation. And Mayors Against Illegal Guns is one of the arms of Every Town for Gun Safety, which is our umbrella organization. So Every Town for Gun Safety was formed by Michael Bloomberg, who in 2006 created Mayors Against Illegal Guns to stop the illegal gun trafficking. So with that being said, that's how we fit into the piece of the puzzle here. This is a very important initiative. We in New Jersey have the second strongest gun laws in the nation, and I'm proud to live in a state that have such strong gun laws. I hail from Connecticut. I live in Morris Township. I've lived here for about 2 years, and I hail from a town called Southbury, which abutted Newtown. So this is a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. And I want to just share with you a little bit of what I was present for yesterday. We have a common gun sense governor, Governor Murphy, and he had yesterday his second gun violence roundtable. And the Attorney General Brule reported yesterday that during the governor is taking initiatives to report gun violence statistics in conjunction with the state police. So a lot of what I'm going to tell you, you can find on the state police website, but I think that it's really important for you to hear this because a lot of us don't realize that what happens here in New Jersey, because we have the second strongest gun laws in the nation, what happens around gun violence is often includes an illegal firearm. And so they are tracking the number of crime guns recovered in the state. They're tracking where the guns are recovered from and the types of guns that are recovered. And on a quarterly basis, they're putting out a report that talks about the origin of these guns. And this is really important because if we're going to affect change, we're going to know where we need to put our efforts. And last quarter, 82% of the guns used in crimes in New Jersey came from other states. 82% of the guns used in crimes here in New Jersey came from other states, the majority of which came from Pennsylvania. So having a mayor willing to stand up and say that he's going to join forces with all the other mayors to impact change, we all collectively, the more people that have raised their voice, we have greater impact. So we applaud you here, Morris County Moms Demand Action. We have some of our volunteers here. Please stand up, and we thank you, Mayor Grazel, for your taking action on this initiative.
I actually would like to point out that on the second mayor in a row who took action, as Mayor Mancuso last year, signed it at the end of the year as well.
Thank you, Mayor Mancuso.
Alexandra, she's a student at Morristown High School, and I invited her here tonight.
Yeah, I'm a senior at Morristown High School, and last year after the Parkland shooting, I organized with a bunch of other students the March for Our Lives in Morristown. We had a really great turnout. And so I'd just like to thank Mayor Grazel and congratulate the township on this turn of events. The signing is really important, and it's a great step forward towards better gun safety.
Thank you. Why don't we all take a picture together?
That sounds great.
Is that in the way? Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And now we're going to move on to the police promotions and awards, and hand it over to Chief. Very good. So myself and Peter Mancuso are on the police committee, so we're going to join Chief down there.